So I often get people, literal Christians, fundamentalists, telling me that I'm demonic because I have a very open, diverse, syncretic approach to Christianity, right? And one thing to understand, and why I can try and hold compassion for people in this scenario, is because I used to be there. Because in Christian fundamentalism, as it is now, the religion has been squeezed into one singular way of expression. It's a single thing. That's it. It's a category. These are the tenets of it. If you don't believe Jesus died for you in this exact way, you go to hell. If you look at anything outside of this book, you go to hell. So you can imagine as well the trauma mechanism in people's bodies when they see you looking at other discourses and working through your Christian experience through, say, Buddhist understanding or any other understanding. It triggers the hell mechanism in the literalist believer. And the fundamentalism and the dogma of Christianity is designed to do that, right? So over 2,000 years of conquest, violence, and control, any other perspective or interpretation of Christianity has been violently oppressed, right? So when I was in Christian fundamentalism, I used to look at Hinduism or Buddhism, for example. I didn't know anything about them, but I was interpreting them from my very singular lens. I was like, oh, well, you must worship your Buddha as much as I worship Jesus, and you believe and you bow down and you're like, Yahweh is my God, and if I don't look at Buddha and if I don't say Buddha is my savior, I'm going to hell, right? I believed that my perspective and the way I related to my God was the way others related to their God, right? And my book was telling me that anything else would send me to hell. So I was like, well, then they're going to hell. It was a very naive, childlike, mentally backward way of seeing the world, right? Which is what fundamentalism does to the brain. It closes down the faculty of critical thinking. But of course, as I grew older, went through religious trauma recovery, spent some years in India, what you learn about Hinduism is that it's not a singular thing. Like, this is the one book and it's only this way and this is the thing. It's a diverse multiplicity. Hinduism is alive with it's an ecosystem of living colors and flowers, and right, there's so many lineages there. There's all the lineages of gurus and teachers that have had their own realization and written their own books, and if you find your way to them because it resonates, beautiful. Every lineage of Buddhism is there. Every lineage of yoga is there. Kashmir Shaivism, Tantra, the Shaktis, like so many aspects and perspectives fall under the umbrella of Hinduism, right? I was like, oh, it's not one singular book or one thing. It's so huge. It's like a living tree. It is alive in its diversity. It's alive. Whereas the Abrahamic fundamental religions are so singular and dead. They are not alive because there's no diversity. And if we're all trees and part of nature and part of this root system, where's the diversity? Where's the diversity of expression? And we used to have that. The Library of Alexandria would have been where the books of where all the Christian gurus kept their work. All the self-realized teachers would have written down their process, and people who resonated would have come their way and they would have worked together. And there was this plethora, like a diversity of books to look at. But of course, in the 2,000-year conquest and suppression of the Western spiritual mind, we had that diversity burnt and taken away from us, right? And that's what I love about Hinduism and Buddhism. It's not at all as singular and vehement as an Abrahamic religion. In fact, both of them, the basis of it is for your own self-realization. It's not about bowing to anyone. No one's your God, right? No one's here to save you. It's how are you going to self-realize your own I am divinity? Through practices, through sutras, through meditation, through different lineages, through various ways, kirtan, singing, dancing, yoga, many things. Anything. Adiyogi says there's 108 ways to enlightenment, right?